Hey everybody, this is Chris from Wallowa Hikes and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about finding that perfect backpack. Is a backpack the first thing that you need to buy if you're going to go backpacking? Well, not necessarily, but if you're going to go backpacking, you're going to need a backpack. A lot of people think that a lot of people give advice that you should wait to buy the backpack after you buy all your gear. That way you'll know if it's going to fit, how big of a backpack you need, what kind of features you need. Personally, I know you're going to buy more gear over time. You're going to go on different trips that are longer, shorter. So for me, I bought a pretty good sized backpack when I started. A lot of people think that if you buy a big backpack, you're just going to fill it with more stuff. Well, I think you have enough self-control to know that you don't need to bring more stuff just because you got more room. But if you have more stuff and you don't have enough room, that's going to be a problem. So how do you find that first perfect backpack? Well, first of all, the perfect backpack is not going to be the backpack you buy first. You're going to find over time what works for you, what features you like, what you don't. But you're not going to find that out until you've been out around. Having said that, totally suggest trying backpacks on for sure before you go out. And, if you live in a place where there's an REI, other outdoor stores, that's gonna be an option for you. They don't sell everything. You're going to see these YouTube videos with all these super expensive, awesome backpacks that they don't carry in REI. You're going to buy those online or at specialty stores. And you're probably not going to need that kind of thing beginning. Mentioned before in the original video that my first backpack I got at Walmart, and I didn't have access to an REI. I didn't have access to a lot of money. I was able to try it on in the store, yes, but if you're able to go to an REI, you can try on multiple backpacks, bring stuff, put things in there. The people that work there, they've got a lot of knowledge. They're going to help you out. They're going to help you to see if it fits or not. And it's going to fit differently if you've got more weight in it, as opposed to just trying it on in the store. So I suggest trying it on. Buying online, that's tough. I have bought a lot of backpacks online, cheaper backpacks. Some of those worked for me. Some of them didn't. And one of the things is it needs to fit you. And part of that is torso length. And there's a lot of good videos out there to show you how to measure your torso length, how to fit a backpack. We can talk about some of that later. But just because you're a tall person doesn't mean you necessarily need a large sized backpack. I personally am 6'1" and found out that my torso length is medium. And that can be problematic if you buy a backpack that's too long for you. My personal favorite backpack, if I could go back in time, I would have bought a medium torso. It takes a lot of adjusting to get it to feel pretty good. So try them on, ask questions when you're at the store. And again, starting out, it's okay to go and buy that Walmart branded backpack, but try it on, see what you like. What's the best backpack for you? This is going to depend on what you're using it for, but certainly you want something big enough to store everything you're going to be taking out there. My personal go-to is an Osprey Aether 70 HE. So this is a 70-liter backpack. It's got a ton of space, and that's how many liters it will hold. A lot of backpacks, 40, 50, 60 liters, that's 80-liter backpacks. This works for me. It holds everything I need. I've taken it on 8-day trips with 8 days worth of food, and it's pretty stuffed full at that point, but that works for me. think about weight, think about what you're using it for. You want something versatile if you're just starting out. Now, over time, you'll probably buy more packs, day packs, packs for different things. But starting out, you're going to want something that's versatile. And the weight is one factor. Everybody wants to have less weight. Having said that, I have a backpack called an Electron 60. I bought this on Amazon. It's never heard of it, but it was super cheap, and it only weighs about 2 pounds. I took that on a trip a couple of years ago in October, thinking I'm going to shed as much weight as possible. I was doing 26 miles in 2 days over 2 mountain passes, so I wanted to go super light, and I took that backpack, and it was miserably uncomfortable, even though it was over 2 pounds less weight than this pack here. The way it carried, the fact that it didn't have a lot of support, the hip belt, super thin, it hurt. It was a terrible idea. So even though a backpack is lighter, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be more comfortable. The Osprey I have, it's a pretty heavy pack. It gets close to 5 pounds, but the way it carries the weight, it is super comfortable. So the extra weight on the backpack, the way it carries what I've got in it, it feels like less weight. And that's an important thing, is find a backpack that's going to be comfortable as you load it up. So over time, I've bought different backpacks, partially because I have an obsessive personality and love gear, partially because I thought maybe different backpacks for different trips, different scenarios, which is actually a pretty good idea. So we can take a look at a few of these. I do suggest go to REI, try some of these out, and you can buy them elsewhere after trying them out, but you're going to find something that fits you. You'll be able to find out what torso length you have, what size hip belt you need. For me, I was at Pacific Crest Trail Days. I met Tyson, who owns Outdoor Vitals, and he actually was releasing a new pack, ultralight pack, the CS40. And while talking to him and looking at those, he brought one out. He tried different torso lengths for me. He swapped out hip belts, and I found out that I'm a medium torso length, but a large hip belt. And that made all the difference. So go into REI, go into a sports store where people are knowledgeable and you can get fitted, and then you'll know where to go. And then it's a little easier if you're going to buy online, if you're not near those huge areas where there's all these kind of stores. You're not going to do what I did and through trial and error buy a bunch of backpacks that maybe don't fit or don't meet your needs. So go take a look at those. If you're willing to spend the money, REI is a great place to find some of those really good backpacks that you're not going to find at a Big Five or a Walmart, but those will work for you in the meantime. But try them on. So let's talk about features. So when looking for a backpack, you're actually going to decide if you want a lot of bells and whistles, if you want a lot of these extra features, or if you want something super simple. The Osprey, which they don't make this particular model anymore, but I absolutely love it. Taking a look, backpack is basically going to be a bag with straps that go around your shoulders. All right. So in the case of this one, we've got the shoulder straps, lots of padding, netting. This keeps your shoulders just so comfortable. We've got some webbing, breathability here. So when you're out hiking with a bunch of weight, you're going to get sweaty. So one of the great features that you want to look for is breathability, keeping your back from being a sweaty mess. Hip belt. This has tons of padding, super comfortable, rests right on on your iliac crest. And this particular backpack, which after years and years and years I finally found, has super squishy, comfortable hip belts. We've got pockets here. These are super helpful to have pockets on the hip belt for chapstick, granola bars, things like that. This is from a brand called Seed Tug. This did not come with it, but nice for water bottles. You do want to have pockets for water bottles. One of the drawbacks of this one that I found that I don't care for is it's really hard to get the water bottles out while you're on the trail. So that's why I got this. So that's something to look for. Is it easy to grab your bottles? Because over time, it's kind of a pain in the butt to wrestle with that. On the back, we've got place where you can stick stuff on the outside. I use this for rain gear. A lot of the stuff, if it's wet, it can go in here. That's really great. And this has a zipper down here, so a separate compartment where you can put your sleeping bag. Really handy. And inside we just have the main compartment where everything goes. Drawstrings. And this is called the Brain. This goes on top, and this one in particular is detachable, and that's super helpful because you can fold it out into a day pack. So this is really great if you're in a camp and you're looking to summit. You want to carry some stuff, but you don't want to carry this giant backpack. And so we've got some zippers here, and so lots of little areas, straps, which makes this a little heavier. And for me, that it works. It's great. Yeah, it's kind of a heavy backpack, but the way it carries, it makes all the difference compared to a cheap backpack that weighs less but feels heavier. So here we have that Electron 60 I had mentioned earlier. Super light. Got it on the internet for next to nothing. And it's just terribly uncomfortable. And that's why you want to try backpacks on. So this has all the parts that a backpack should have. But these shoulder straps, super thin. There is absolutely no ventilation on the back here. Super thin hip pads. And they only go to about here. So the nice thing about the Osprey, those hip pads come all the way around. It just feels great, carries the weight nicely, it's super cushioned. So already we're at a disadvantage. We've got our water holders here. Super tall, super hard to get to. It does have the separate spot for the sleeping bag in the bottom. And it sort of has a frame, but not really. So it's basically a light, frameless backpack to save weight. And it carries gear terribly. It's uncomfortable. It's hot. This is a garbage pack. Now, before my wife bought me the Osprey, because I wouldn't buy it for myself because it was kind of an expensive pack, I did have a Teton backpack. Now, Teton is a reputable brand. They're pretty good, and they're not super expensive. So this is a nice little entry-level backpack. This is the Hiker 3700, and it's not a bad pack, actually. And I used this for a couple of seasons. It's got all the same features that the Osprey has, and it's definitely lighter. It has a fantastic cushion here that goes right above your bottom. The hip belts, the hip pads, a little shorter, but nice and padded and ventilated. So that's a great feature. Shoulder straps, not terribly comfortable, but you have fantastic padding. So this is really actually a good pack. for beginners. It isn't super expensive if you want to pay more than what you're going to get at Walmart. I actually recommend this. There's Eric Hansen, I think, who's a pretty popular YouTuber. I believe he used the Teton for a while, and yeah, he's super awesome. So this is an option. It doesn't have a ton of bells and whistles. Does the job. It carries your load pretty well. Now, a more entry level, you're not going to find this backpack now because it's 20 years old, but what I have here is the 65L. So this is a 65 liter backpack. This is Ozark Trail, which is the Walmart brand. Works pretty good, honestly. I would totally use this still. So some padding, really nice padding here. I did notice I get pretty sweaty because it's not really ventilated. Good wide hip pads, go around nicely. It's got the detachable brain, just like the other. And lots of nice space in here. Some 10-year-old dirt. But this is going to work great. I was really excited to get this when I did. It was well under $100. And this is going to work for you. Especially if you know how to fit a backpack. There's some really great sites. Teton Sports actually has a great video on how to fit a backpack. Outdoor Vitals, Tyson has a video on how to fit a backpack. I'd suggest looking at those. I mean, I can make a video for that, and I may, but there's some great information out there, and fitted properly, this backpack's going to work pretty well. I would totally take this out again. So basically, you're going to want a backpack like that. You're going to want something that's versatile, all-purpose. There's definitely different price ranges. If you're super rich, or you just want to go crazy, or you don't like all the bells and whistles, this is the backpack that I bought from Outdoor Vitals that Tayson fitted me for. And this is very minimal. It does have an internal frame. You want to have a frame. That's going to keep everything rigid. Almost all backpacks nowadays are internal frame. If you're as old as I am, you remember the external frames. Big old aluminum bars with a bag on there. They rarely make those anymore. Worth a try if you're, outside the box. But so all of these have internal frames except for the super light one I was talking about earlier that felt terrible. This is made from super lightweight material. It's super strong. And it is essentially just a bag with straps. There are no extra little bells and whistles. There's no brain. This just rolls up. This has pockets for the water. Easy to get to. Super nice for on the go. The shoulder strap's not super thick, but really, really comfortable. Same with the hip belt. This is great. I bought this because I did rim to rim to rim Grand Canyon, and I wanted to go as light as possible because I'm 50 years old and I'm overweight, and this worked fantastic for me. And it costs nearly $400, so I do not suggest getting a bag like this starting out unless you're super rich and you know you're going to love backpacking. There's other kinds of packs as well. You're going to want something like what we've just talked about to start out, but there's hydration packs. This keeps a water bladder in it, carries a little bit of stuff, nice for a hot day hike. I used this once in Utah in slot canyons. I don't really care for these. And then there's all kinds of little day packs. I actually, even though I've got the brain on my Osprey that I can use as a summit pack, I got this on Amazon. It's a Gonex little foldable pack. Folds down into itself the size of like a baseball. And I have used this a ton of times when summiting mountains from a base camp. Really nice, really cheap. I would use this forever. So nice to have a little day pack if you want something like that. Or you can get something a little more robust. This also folds into itself, another day pack, but this holds a little bit more. It's a little more comfortable. So if you're going on, say, a 7-8 mile hike with the wife and kids or something, this will hold a little more comfortably. So how do you find that perfect backpack? You're not going to find the thing that meets all of your needs. You're definitely not going to find something that is the most comfortable and has every feature you want if you just go to the store and take a look. But you're going to find something that works for you. You're definitely going to be able to throw out the things that don't work for you. I wish I'd been able to do that. My first backpack I bought at Walmart. Walmart was the only store within 100 miles that sold backpacks, and I bought the one that they had. And I used that for, probably 6 years. So, get out there, get fitted, find out your torso size, and look around. Look for deals. And we'll see you next time.